What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the 2024 Husqvarna TE250 60-hour review. This bike has its pros, its cons, but more than anything, it has its upsides and is a ton of fun. And it's not very popular, so you guys can get a pretty good deal on it. Let's go ahead and jump straight into today's video. Alright guys, 2024 Husqvarna TE250. Today we are doing the 60-hour review. I've had this since October of 2023 and I've been riding it ever since. I absolutely love the bike. Since it's a 60-hour review, why not talk about the startup process? So it's a little dirty. I have been riding it lately. We have some awesome dirt. Basically how I started up every single time 60 hours in on the stock plug is I come here and I hit this little yellow choke switch. I hit it up there, hear the click. You guys heard that, hit the switch, and then I will, let's see, make sure it's in neutral, and then I will literally just start it up. And I literally look at my clock and I wait 1 minute and then I jump on. So really quickly, while that's warming up, I've had absolutely nothing but fun on this thing. As you guys can see here from the pipe, nothing but good times all around. Absolutely love the bike. I'm 5'6", 150 pounds. Before gear, I'm rocking Alpine Stars Tech Enduro boots. I rock full body armor, Alpine Stars Bionic, rib protection, chest and back, elbow, bicep pads, shoulder pads. I'll show you what I look like in a little bit. And then I also rock a pack, the USWE pack. Still, this bike fits me so good. I've done nothing to it. Everything is stock besides plastics and protection parts. I feel super comfortable, super confident on this bike. I can do pretty much just about anything that anyone else is doing, just, depending on skill set. Again, here's the USWE pack. I carry anywhere between 2 to 3 liters depending on how long the ride. I also carry the Husqvarna tool pack that this came with. It comes with just about any tool that you may need out on the trail. I'm pretty loaded as well. The water, the pack, I have quite a bit of stuff on my back at all times. So I'm probably prime weight for this thing at 170, 175. And as you guys can see here, it's been about 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half. I'll literally put it into first gear and I'll slowly take off. I'll warm up the bike. That's basically the warm-up process for me. I've had nothing but success with this. Before I got the bike and when I was pretty much just gearing up to get the bike, I was pretty worried about all the issues that these bikes were having, the fouled plugs, startup process, etc. I was pretty nervous about all these issues that I was going to have, especially like a new generation bike, or reliability and all these things. I've had nothing but success with this platform just based off of the research I did. This is the startup process that I do. I literally just warm it up for like the first 5 minutes, click through first, second, third gear. I don't rev it crazy hard. And yeah, as you guys can see here, I'm able to touch when I need to touch. Again, short people problems. I probably have like a 29-inch inseam, and that's being kind of generous. I have short legs and a pretty long torso, and this bike fits me so much better than my KTM 4-stroke did. I've absolutely loved this thing. Now, aside from the startup process, another thing you should be wary of is the stock gas tank. The stock gas tank kind of stinks in terms of reliability. You're gonna get range anxiety at times. I've done a couple 40 to 45 mile loops, single track, where gas is sloshing everywhere. I've had no issues then with it. Where I have had issues is stuff like this, where it's like just dirt roads, fire roads, and for the sake of today's video, I'm just putting around on dirt roads and whatnot today just to shoot this video. But stuff like this, you're definitely not getting the full tank. You're gonna have probably a quarter, if not maybe a little over a quarter to maybe even half a tank, and your gas light's gonna turn off and it's gonna shut off on you. I've had this issue. I had this issue when I first got the bike. I took it out for a ride right after I got the bike and they didn't give me a full tank. They literally gave me like a quarter tank, and I'm out here riding and I'm like, holy crap, my bike shut off. I was like, it's a fouled plug. But luckily I've been doing all the research and literally it's the stock tank. The fuel pickup is down here behind the seat, up above, so there's nothing picking up the stuff down in the tank. I'm sure it sounded good in their heads, but in reality it sucks, because unless you're doing single track where you're turning and going over rocks and whatnot, and the gas is sloshing into the tank, then that's pretty much the only time you're not going to have fuel pickup issues. Now they are working on other aftermarket upgrades. Taco Moto has one, a pickup deal, but you have have to be careful not to run it dry. If you do, you're gonna have to like recalibrate the pump and whatnot, probably even out on the trail, but obviously you probably wouldn't get that low anyway. Also, it's gonna cost like 500 bucks on a brand new bike. So all these issues, I haven't done the upgrade or the fix or anything, just because I have a new bike. I'm just aware of those things, and I don't want to be doing any of those things. So I've done a couple loops where it's single track, nice and flowy, some rocks and stuff, and I made it back fine with gas. So I didn't have any issues there. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone this way. I'm not warmed up yet, but anyway, fuel pickup, that's one of the main cons. Sucks, tons of complaints, but you just kind of have to live with it. Again, not too much of an issue for me now that I'm kind of used to it. I know the range, I know what I'm going to be doing, etc. So I'm not too concerned about that stuff, honestly. Like, you guys will be fine. Just be aware of, you know, the riding you're gonna do and what type of stuff you're gonna be doing. So other than that, startup process, possibility of fouling the plug, the fuel pickup issues, possibility of running out of gas, just plan your route, take extra fuel if needed. They're all things that are, you know, that you can work around. Let it sing, baby. All these issues, they can be fixed. Don't let it deter you from getting this bike. It's such a fun time. Now, ooh, nice and like rocky, chunky, can't feel anything. Suspension, man. Suspension on this thing is insane. It's so good. You guys are probably thinking like, yeah, dude, you're 150 pounds, no stuff on, with stuff on and all the stuff, you know, the 2-3 liter of extra fuel, the little tool pack, snacks and whatnot. You're probably like 175, maybe 185 after. I probably am, and that's what this is meant for out of the box. But even heavier people have said this is the best out of the box suspension they've ever had, especially, you know, just in these recent years. The suspension is absolutely amazing. Now, I can't be biased, but I can tell you my experience. I came from an MX bike, 2023 KTM SXF 250. Obviously, the suspension was tuned for freaking big jumps and motocross, which I was not doing. I wanted to trail ride. It was absolutely terrible. But going from that example over to this, you know, trail riding enduro suspension out of the box, it's insane, man. I go over routes like nothing. I hit rocks like nothing. Absolutely freaking just so buttery smooth. I have no complaints with the suspension whatsoever. If anything, the suspension continues to amaze me. I'll pop up some clips of some loops I did recently where I was just like, man, I freaking love this freaking bike, just in terms of suspension, because a lot of times there's obstacles in the way and I'm like, dude, the suspension is gonna screw me over right now just because of, you know, this bump or this root or this rock, whatever it is. It's absolutely done nothing but improve my riding. That's exactly what you want on a trail bike, on a trail machine, is stuff like that, stuff that's gonna allow you to keep having fun and keep riding. Exactly what this bike has allowed me to do. Height wise, 2-stroke, just the maneuverability, being able to ride it like a mountain bike and just have fun. It's freaking absolutely awesome. Everything about the bike has just allowed me to have fun for the type of riding that I do. Just pretty much just go out, have fun on the type of stuff that we do. It's anything that I've wanted to do, or, you know, all the things that I got a dirt bike for, this bike has allowed me to do, and allowed me to have pretty good success at it, if you will. It's been awesome. Now, going for the maneuverability piece, 2-stroke, feels like a freaking mountain bike. Check this out. Also, again, I'm 5'6", without boots. Being able to put my foot down when I need to. I obviously shaved the seat. Other than that, no suspension or anything done. Check this out. Being able to just pop your foot down, to do the little wheelies whenever you need to. It's awesome. Like, I know you guys are probably like, that's simple stuff, that's noob stuff. Maybe it's just your inexperience of riding, but to me, it's stuff like this being able to handle it, maneuver it, be able to touch, you know, obviously get used to how you're going to be touching. That really makes or breaks your ride. You can go from having a good ride, but those times where like you tip over or you can't do something super simple because of the maneuverability, how heavy it is, maybe you can't touch all the way, that can really leave a bad taste in your mouth, especially when you're a new rider. I'm a new rider. I've only been riding a year and a half, 2 years, coming up on 2 years. Stuff like that is what makes the difference for me. So definitely keep that into consideration. The Huskies run smaller in general. If you set your suspension up for your weight and your height, you're gonna have an awesome freaking time on this machine. It's freaking awesome, man. Like, I wouldn't have thought that in a million years that I could do that little quick turn like I did right there on my KTM. Like, no way. The fact that this is light, that I can tip it over, still be able to touch pretty good and do things like that is what makes all the difference. Now put that into a trail scenario. You're riding, you know, a 40-mile loop, 30-mile loop, whatever it is. Maybe you're not in that good a shape. Having to lug your bike around and whatnot, it sucks, man. No one wants to freaking do that. It's gonna wear you down. It's gonna allow you to not have that much fun on the trail. It's stuff like that that makes all the difference when you're out on a trail ride. You don't want to be holding people back because you're tired or because you don't know how to maneuver your bike, people helping you, this and that. This stuff is what really makes all the difference. Besides the maneuverability, being able to ride it and, you know, move it around how you like. Again, very mountain bike-esque. I'm coming from mountain biking, guys. Mountain biking is what got me into riding, and coming from the 4-stroke over to the 2-stroke, shout out to my buddy Jesse who let me jump on his Husky. I think it's like a 2021 Husky TE250. I jumped on it, he jumped on my 4-stroke, and I absolutely fell in love from that day. Started researching Huskies, the 2-strokes. It felt so much like my mountain bike, just nice and light and nimble through everything, that I knew I needed to jump on a 2-stroke. I ended up going with a 250. Perfect range in between the 150 and the 300. Not too much power, not too little power. 150 is plenty power. I'm just a beginner. You know, you have to be very experienced, good clutch work, etc. That's what made me want to jump onto the 2-stroke machine, is the maneuverability and handling, especially in, you know, tight single track and whatnot. Being able to have that nice nimble profile, that makes all the difference. Going from, you know, the handling and maneuverability over to performance, man. This thing, again, with my weight, I know people that do have 250s and they're probably 220 plus pounds. They probably have to respring the, you know, the rear suspension and whatnot. But other than that, plenty of power, also depending on the gearing. 300 is not that much more, but it can make all the difference in, you know, your current situation. But 250 is plenty of power. I'm doing everything that people on 300s are doing 450s. Again, that might be just a preference thing. I've seen a heavier guy on a 150 make massive hill climbs, guys. Is that going to be efficient in the long run? Probably not. He probably wants a 300, but even then, it's like, even then, it's plenty of power for them. Plenty of power for them. Going back to the 250, plenty of power for me, for most people as well. Perfect entry-level machine if you just kind of want to get a machine for the long haul. I mean, go for 300. Again, I wanted to go for the in-between middle ground. Perfect machine for me, especially the type of riding that I do, which is mainly single track, you know, single flowy stuff. I'm not doing any crazy hard enduro. Hill climbs, I'll do some hill climbs here and there. This thing gets me up every hill that I've needed to in third gear. Again, a little bit comes with experience and skill, but for my skill level and whatnot, for what I do, this thing is plenty for me. Now, check this stuff out. Being able to stop where you want to stop, pretty neat. Being able to do all this type of stuff. Power wise on the 250, you're never going to be lacking. If you're doing a little bit of harder stuff, you might end up wanting a 300. But for the vast majority, 250 is gonna be plenty of power, guys. Like, you guys don't have to worry about that one bit. I don't even know where I came out of. That's funny. Oh, see that rock just coming out of nowhere? Suspension absorbs it up. Normally you would have been toast right there. You would have been bucked off. You would have been flying. You would have been not a happy camper right there. Probably would have ruined your ride. Probably would have ruined your confidence. You guys don't understand how much of a luxury being able to do this right here is, man. And being able to take off too. If I can do that, pretty much anyone can do that, because I have a 29-inch inseam, 5'6", man. It just comes with practice, man. Like, if you're a shorter rider, you just have to adapt and just do stuff that works for you. Mountain biking has definitely helped me have a smooth transition into moto and all this stuff, man. It's freaking awesome. Quick little interruption. I want to do a sound test on this DJI Osmo Action 4. Pretty crazy and loud right now. Tons of wind, road noise, as well as the bike. So if it sounds good, this passed the test. Using the DJI Osmo Action 4 paired with the DJI Mic 2. Came with my Osmo Pocket 3. Absolutely love it. Careful crossing the street over here. I'm gonna go drop into a rocky wash that is pretty much just helped me getting reps in rocks and having to dab here and there for certain things. If I can find where to drop in. Now this is also a place that made me realize that I wanted the two-stroke and just overall enduro suspension, because over there I stopped because I stalled the bike right on pretty much the edge of this pretty much just mountain slash hill right over there, man. So I pretty much stalled the bike toward the top of it, and the suspension just from stalling it, you know, kind of bucked me forward and then bucked me off to the side. I took a tumble off that hill, man. It was pretty sketchy. Again, it might not seem that bad, but as a new rider, it definitely kind of like shocked me a little bit, like, whoa, dang. And I knew it was because of the suspension. I knew that it wasn't anything, you know, on my part other than the stalling part, but still, just riding the correct machine for your style riding, you just opened my eyes, and the suspension just continues to shock me. Anytime I do any stuff that I'm like, wow, my KTM would have for sure got me toast. Like a rougher suspension on this rock or this, you know, big bump or this route, it would have not been very good for me. So just noticing that just also just keeps reassuring me that I made the right decision to switch over to this machine. My wife hears all about it every single ride, just how much I love the bike, how much I love the suspension, how much of a good decision switching over was for me. So all this rocky wash, we're gonna go and ride it right now. I want to talk about the map switch here, which is pretty cool. Alright guys, so let's talk about this map switch. The 2024s have this map switch that allows you to go from green, which is a very aggressive map, to white, which is a low aggressive map. Pretty much just allows you to have a little more traction, a little more lug, especially in rocks and stuff where you're kind of like padding back and forth. Maybe like you're trying to get up a hill that you didn't make up, which I'll throw an example on. I did a massive hill climb, made it like more than 3/4 of the way. There was no way, I knew that I could have just kept going, so I threw it in the white map, gave it a little bit of gas on the clutch, and just pretty much just crawled up this super steep hill. And that's basically what this mode allows you to do. Absolutely awesome for single track and trail riding. So let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up and pretty much just like go nice and slow through this little rocky wash. Now this isn't anything insanely technical, but I want to give you an example of it. And if I'm able to do this, you guys are probably going to be able to do it too, more than likely. Just, you know, the lugging and whatnot. Again, you guys are gonna notice the suspension here. Freaking awesome. Barely feeling these rocks. It's not like throwing me off like crazy. It's really absorbing everything. And also my suspension is literally the suspension, nice and absorbent. Check that out there. There's been a few times where this white mode has just basically allowed me to continue on sections that I didn't think I was going to be able to. I thought, I was like, man, I'm stuck. I don't have, you know, like mooses or anything. I'm running tubes. I'm not able to touch or something along those lines. But it just keeps lugging, man. Obviously, you're on the clutch and you're controlling it with your clutch. Being able to just lug and crawl is awesome. You're going to be doing a lot of that when you're doing, you know, trail rides and whatnot. You're going to come across rocky sections, etc. And being able to just go nice and slow at your own pace, whether you're standing or sitting, dabbing, and not losing traction, not stalling, not having too much power and spinning out, which I was having before, is super awesome. On that hill climb, my buddy that was on the 150, bigger dude, ripping that hill climb on the 150, I was like, hey, put it in the white map. You can lug out of here. Dude, I lugged out of there so easy, no spinning, so effortlessly on a very, very steep hill. I was so shocked and again, just so surprised. And that was probably 2 rides ago where I just continue to get surprised by everything. You guys can see here, 62.5 hours. Absolutely love the bike, man. You have your electric start, your kill switch. A lot of people complain about these. This is all I know, so I'm not complaining about the switch whatsoever. People hate this and like they complain about it so much. I like it. I mean, I have no issues. This is all I know. So when it's all you know, you're not complaining. Suspension is set at the standard rate. That's the only adjustments I've done. I set the clicker to standard in the back, standard in the front. For everything, I'm not even at the like squishiest setting for suspension, and I've absolutely loved the thing, man. It's a freaking beast. Protection parts, I'm gonna go over in another video, but I do have some stuff I need to continue to add. You guys can see my seat is pretty much shaved. It's all plastic. People kind of laugh at it. Dude, again, it makes all the difference for me. I'm barely sitting anyways, but when I do need to sit, let's say it's for like a turn or like a section like this, I can feel more planted and just a lot more confident, whatever works for you. But again, like I said, I'm pretty much standing all the time. I rarely sit, and even guys I ride with are like surprised at how much I stand. I just feel a lot more confident. It probably comes from mountain biking, but just letting the bike do its thing and you controlling it and going through. I'm kind of jealous at the guys that sit a lot, but it seems sketchier for me. But yeah, super awesome. Let's finish up this rocky wash. My bike boot got stuck on my peg. That was sketchy. You gotta love when you can't see what's in front of you, man. Again, the suspension just soaking up rocks and getting you nice and planted back to where you need to go. Freaking awesome. Let's try this spot over here that's been giving me issues just because it's all pretty much like washed out at this point. It's literally like right on the edge. This is where I got bucked and I needed that suspension. It's where I had that realization, man. You guys can see there. Slippery, but luckily the dirt is good. Gave me the grip I needed. Let's go. All right, guys, there you have it. 2024 Husqvarna TE250 two-stroke. Amazing trail bike, amazing enduro machine. I've absolutely had nothing but good times on this bike, as you guys saw throughout the review. Do I recommend it in 2025? 100% yes. If you can get your hands on a 2024 TBI 250, you're gonna get a pretty good deal on it, considering 250s are not popular at all. So definitely take advantage. More videos to come on this. An accessory video is gonna be up next. So make sure you're subscribed to get notified when that drops. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. Tech, lifestyle, more videos to come. Catch you guys in the next one.